this morning, the people of Popayán, Colombia were jolted awake by something terrifying. At first it was just a rumble in the distance, but within seconds, the ground itself began to shake violently. A strong earthquake struck the region, startling thousands of residents from their sleep. According to seismic reports, the earthquake registered a magnitude of 4.80, a number that, on paper, may not sound devastating, but in lived reality, carried a force powerful enough to shake an entire region. Its epicenter was pinpointed about 56 kilometers northwest of the city of Popayán, nestled in a seismically active stretch of the Andes where tectonic plates grind and shift beneath the surface with relentless pressure. The quake struck at the depth of nearly 35 kilometers, a detail experts highlighted as particularly significant. They explained that this depth is a kind of gray zone inside. It's not so shallow that it tears open streets or collapses buildings outright, but not so deep that its presence fades away before reaching the surface. Instead, it existed in that unsettling middle ground, the perfect depth to send waves of motion radiating outward, covering vast distances with unnerving intensity. That's why, within moments, the shaking was reported not only in Popayan, but across towns and villages scattered throughout the Cauca department. Residents miles away felt the earth tremble beneath their feet, chandeliers swaying from ceilings, and walls creaking in protest as if the very bones of their homes were groaning under invisible stress. Even in areas spared from structural damage, the psychological impact was unmistakable. People who had lived their entire lives in the region said they had felt tremors before, but nothing that spread this far, this quickly, and with such startling clarity. Experts emphasized how deceptive numbers can be. A 4.8 quake might not compare to the catastrophic devastation of larger magnitudes, but the force it unleashed was enough to rattle homes, topple household items, and leave entire communities deeply shaken, not just physically, but emotionally. In many ways, the quake served as a harsh reminder that even a moderate seismic event can turn an ordinary night into an unforgettable test of nerves and resilience. People across the city described the quake as sudden, violent, and unforgettable. One moment, the night was calm and quiet. The next, windows clattered as if they were about to shatter. Dishes and glasses fell from kitchen shelves, and heavy doors banged open on their own. Residents spoke of pictures tumbling from walls and furniture shifting across living rooms as if pushed by invisible hands. Some said it felt as though the very ground was rolling beneath their feet, a strange wave that made standing nearly impossible. Others compared the experience to a violent jolt, like a massive truck slamming into the side of a building without warning. Parents recalled clutching their children as lights flickered and power went out in some neighborhoods, plunging homes into sudden darkness. In the streets, car alarms blared, dogs barked frantically, and neighbors shouted to check if loved ones were safe. For many, it was a moment that blurred seconds into minutes, a reminder of how fragile and unpredictable life can feel when the earth itself turns against you. For several long seconds, the ground trembled, and in those moments, fear took over. Families jumped from their beds and ran into the dark streets. Children cried, clutching their parents. Elderly residents leaned on neighbors for support as they tried to get outside as quickly as possible. In the pre-dawn darkness, whole neighborhoods stood together in the open air, staring at their shaking homes and wondering if this was just the beginning. Many feared that a stronger, more destructive earthquake could strike at any moment, bringing with it the threat of collapsing buildings and even greater chaos. Local emergency hotlines lit up with calls from worried citizens, asking if this was just the beginning of something worse. For a city already familiar with the risks of living near active fault systems, every quake is a reminder of how fragile life can feel when the earth itself moves beneath your feet. Seismologists explained that Popayán lies close to a complex and highly active fault system, one that has a long history of generating earthquakes ranging from light tremors to destructive, city-shaking events. They emphasized that while today's quake understandably sparked fear and disruption, it is considered to fall within the normal, though still dangerous, range of seismic activity expected for this part of Colombia. However, the experts cautioned that the situation does not end with the initial shock. Aftershocks potentially strong enough to cause additional damage are a real possibility in the hours and even days ahead. For that reason, they urged residents to remain vigilant, avoid damaged structures, and follow official safety guidance as the region continues to experience seismic instability. Emergency services in Popayán and surrounding towns immediately went on high alert. Inspectors have been sent to check vulnerable structures, especially older, colonial-style buildings that make up much of the historic city. Authorities are asking people to remain calm but cautious, and to keep essential supplies like water, food, flashlights, and medical kits close at hand in case more seismic activity occurs. For now, there are no reports of major damage or casualties, but the quake has left the community shaken both physically and emotionally. Experts continue to monitor the region closely, ready to provide updates if the situation changes. Natural disasters like this are a reminder that we are never fully in control. The Earth can shift without warning, and all we can do is be prepared. Stay informed and protect our families. Don't forget to subscribe for the latest updates on earthquakes, storms, and natural disasters happening around the world. Stay safe, stay alert, and take care of one another.